Hello, this is Shane Handerhan, and this is going to be my persuasive argument for the second year seminar concussion discussion. In today's discussion, I want to talk about the extreme levels of football and how, the game changes and how we see head-to-head collisions end up leading to long-term injuries with players such as we've seen in the documentary, getting CTE, and we see that, after the deaths of these individuals, we can see that, this is something that is a big problem in football. And something else that we need to establish is how we can evolve the game to be safer for these individuals who play by calling these necessary flags for head-to-head collisions, for, face masks grabbing more often. So today I want to really look at the big problems, and we know that CTE is more of it's kind of a self-diagnosis thing that we see because we can't diagnose somebody until they are dead, and we can see the effects that the brain got from all of playing these years, playing football. And this could happen in any other sport too, but football is the main concern because we see so many big hits, so many head-to-head collisions with players, and we see the decline of players once their careers are over. We can see that players' minds get kind of foggy, consistent headaches. Memory loss is another big one that we look at. So I think my claim here is to persuade you guys to look at the positives that we can get from changing the rules of football and how we can make the game safer for the players. Obviously, this is not really such a popular opinion because everyone wants to watch football and they're like, oh my God, there's a big hit. Like that's what everyone goes to see football for, and we know that. It's just a matter of taking proper care of the people who, are sacrificing their bodies every play. We see the offensive linemen all game long when we watch a game of football. They take so many different hits to the head. Head-to-head collisions on a wide receiver route. Cornerback comes in, and it's unpreventable to a way because we know that that's how the game is played. But I think that the best way is to, change the game a little bit and make sure that we can see the different outputs of how we can make the game safer by, someone gets hit. It should be more than just a flag on the play. There should be some consequence that makes it so that it's a big offense to do something like that, just so that we can minimize the injuries that we see in the long term. I think the documentary that we have watched the past 2 weeks in class have provided a great example of the medical staff needs to kind of do a little bit more because they kind of overshadow the severity of the injuries. So I think that the best way to do that is to just kind of get the medical information that we kind of need from the doctors. That would be a great one. A great step in the right direction. Seeing that, the players need to all kind of come together and be on the same page of this. It's going to be very difficult to do that because football has been played for the same for so long. But at the same time, the NFL has been doing a good job at making sure that these hits are kind of seen better in a way. So I think that if we can, look at everything into accountability, try to change the rules a little bit on head-to-head collisions, and I think to kind of persuade the NFL and the medical doctors to kind of give us the right information that we need so that every time that something like this happens and there's a whole career that you're playing through, these head injuries, we can minimize that. We can look at, other stuff besides just CTE in somebody's life. They're losing their memory. They have head fog. Their headaches are they're killing them. So I think in conclusion that this is the best way to do so. And I hope that this video you can kind of look at and be like, this claim makes sense because we see more of football just being a game, but it's also more of seeing how an individual reacts to these head injuries. And it's not even just that they see it. You see a concussion, you can do the repercussions for it. But at the end of the day, we look at the long term of head injuries, and they could be worse down the line. And it's just kind of like you add it up as you go. And the more concussions you get, the more brain injuries you're going to have when you get older. All this stuff. This could even lead to stuff such as suicidal thoughts. So thank you guys for watching this discussion, and I hope this persuades you guys to look at the game a little bit differently.